Imagine a future where humanity is no longer confined to Earth. A prospect so awe-inspiring, yet so divisive that it fuels heated debates, bold innovations, and billion-dollar dreams. This is the frontier, where two of the world's wealthiest and most influential technology leaders, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, have staked their visions, each proposing radically different blueprints for our future in space. But whose plan will shape the human story among the stars? And here's the twist. The stakes aren't just technological or scientific. They could redefine the fabric of society itself. For centuries, the idea of living beyond our home planet belonged to the realm of myth and science fiction. Today, however, that leap from imagination to reality is taking shape before our eyes, propelled in large part by the ambitions and fortunes of Musk and Bezos. Together, they command resources rivaling NASA's lifetime budget, wielding influence capable of setting the direction for humanity's next giant leap. What's fascinating and controversial is how their visions diverge, raising critical questions about technology, ethics, economics, and even the meaning of progress. Elon Musk, through SpaceX, openly dreams of colonizing Mars. His vision is grand, a bustling human city on the red planet, carved from the barren Martian dust. He imagines fleets of robots and pioneers working together, maybe in Arcadia Planitia, where water ice may be just beneath the surface. Musk wants to go beyond simple survival. He hopes to terraform Mars, engineering its climate to develop an Earth-like atmosphere. But here's where it gets controversial. Many scientific experts argue that such terraforming may be nothing more than fantasy, requiring technology beyond what Earth has ever seen. NASA's Michael Meyer even joked that only alien technology could pull this off, citing films like Total Recall as closer to fiction than future. In sharp contrast, Jeff Bezos has a different answer for humanity's cosmic ambitions. Through Blue Origin, he envisions not distant planetary colonies, but enormous, rotating habitats in space, a direct nod to physicist Gerard O'Neill's 20th century proposals. These so-called O'Neill colonies would orbit Earth, housing up to 1 million people each, spinning to create artificial gravity. Bezos believes in moving the dirty business of heavy industry off-planet, turning Earth into a kind of protected retreat for living and leisure, almost like a global nature preserve. But here's the part most people miss. Bezos dismisses planetary colonization as planetary chauvinism, a narrow view that limits the possibilities of life beyond Earth. Instead, he advocates for building the future right above our heads, leveraging resources harvested from the moon to sustain these orbital metropolises. But which vision is better, or even feasible? Space ethicists and scientists bring in yet another angle. Alice Gorman, a space archaeologist, warns against assuming that Earth's environmental dilemmas will be solved by deserting the planet or mining others. Many more people are worried about climate change right here and now than are hoping to escape to space, she says. She even points out the ethical dimensions. Should Mars or the Moon be considered pristine environments worth protecting, even if lifeless? Beneath these grand designs lies a remarkable similarity. Both billionaires see space as humanity's ultimate insurance policy, a way to survive cataclysmic disaster, whether natural or self-inflicted. Yet the challenges each plan presents are enormous and nowhere near resolved. Setting up shop on Mars involves mind-boggling engineering, building pressure-tight habitats, finding water, and shielding from deadly radiation. Can Mars' gravity and harsh conditions ever permit safe, healthy human life, let alone allow children to grow up there? No one knows for certain. Bezos' vision has its own hurdles. The technology needed to build vast orbital colonies doesn't exist yet. In fact, Bezos himself admits these are goals for future generations. For now, Blue Origin is perfecting precursor technologies and competing with SpaceX in the commercial satellite launch market with its advanced New Glenn rocket. Is this simply evolution, or are we giving too much influence and financial power to private hands on the promise of progress? And here's a serious point of contention. Unlike previous eras, the driving force in space exploration is tilting from government agencies to private industry. NASA now depends on both SpaceX and Blue Origin for crucial components of its Artemis program, aimed at returning humans to the moon. Multi-billion-dollar contracts have shifted the balance, placing monumental power and responsibility in the hands of a few corporate giants. Critics warn this could worsen existing wealth inequalities and consolidate planetary control among a tiny elite. Especially in-space industry outpaces Earth-based economies. Will those with access to robots and AI accumulate wealth so vast it triggers new forms of economic and political instability? The environmental implications are also anything but simple. Musk's vision of launching Starship rockets as often as 20 times per day, a quantum leap from today's rate, raises alarms about stratospheric pollution, black carbon emissions, and the ozone layer. Is this a reasonable sacrifice to ensure our survival, or are we just exporting our problems and risks into the cosmos? On the flip side, the argument that moving heavy industry into space will protect Earth's environment is appealing. But not everyone is convinced. Gorman contests the logic. If we truly value preserving environments here, why should Mars be fair game for exploitation? And here's a truly existential question. If humans one day live exclusively off Earth, do we risk losing our sense of origin and belonging? Technical barriers, like surviving harsh space environments, maintaining mental health far from home, and ensuring future generations can thrive, remain daunting. Even Musk acknowledges the danger, saying the first settlers will face extreme hardship and high risk. It's not for the faint-hearted. Good chance you'll die. But if it works, it'll be glorious. Yet there's also a powerful emotional draw. For some, like Anthony Gomez, who runs a launch viewing campground near SpaceX's South Texas site, watching Starship soar ignites awe and hope, transcending politics or personal gain. If you don't feel anything when Starship flies, maybe you're dead inside. For others, the prospect of being among the first to risk it all, for science, adventure, or the future of humanity, is nothing short of noble. But let's open the floor. Do you see Musk's Martian vision as the bold next step, or a hubristic gamble? Is Bezos' idea of self-sustaining orbital colonies an enlightened path, or is it just as out of reach? How should society manage the possibility that a handful of private space companies might control humanity's future beyond Earth, along with all the profits? Or here's a final provocation. Should we focus our talent and resources on fixing Earth's challenges instead of chasing dreams among the stars? Where do you stand? Dive into the debate, share your perspective, and tell us, which vision do you believe in, and why?